Good afternoon. Welcome to 30 Frames a Second, and I'm Greg Lassiter. We got a great show for you today, and we're going to pull something from the archives. But before we go on, we mourn the loss of the Reverend Henry Vincent Harrison. He was the pastor of the Baptist House of Prayer here in Harlem. And also he was one of our producers, Sheila Spell-Barry's brother. So Sheila, we're so sorry for your loss. And we're going to pull something from the archives, and we'll be right back. Don't touch that dial.
Sunday morning. Hallelujah. This is how we have gospel church. Look at somebody and tell them, thank God for the church. And if God brought you through anything, you ought to be real happy. Look at your neighbor and tell him, he brought me through this. And he brought me through that. And Lord, I'm grateful. Any handclappers in the middle? Come on, put your hand together. Listen here. He brought me through this. Then he brought me through that. And Lord, I'm grateful. that's grateful? Just a few blocks away. Y'all ain't gonna help me. A terrible tragedy. But look at somebody and tell them, God spared my life. I can't speak for you, but I'm grateful. Or look at somebody and tell them, I'm grateful. I want y'all to help the choir sing, because that's what good gospel music is, Reverend Dixie. All I want you to say is, Lord, I'm grateful. Are you ready, Lord? I'm grateful. Lord, I'm grateful. Come on, y'all. Lord, I'm grateful. Lord, I'm grateful. I don't hear you in the balcony. Lord, I'm grateful. Brother Thompson, I'm grateful. Lord, I'm grateful. Grateful. Grateful.
Here with no other than the great Nat Wood.
Adjust your television set. You are fortunate enough to have tuned in to 30 frames a second.
You have spun that into the fact where the victim is now the perpetrator and the perpetrator is now the victim. And that just drives me crazy.
Welcome back to 30 Frames a Second. Yes, indeedy, I'm grateful. I'm here with the producer, the director, the creator of the show, Nat Wood. Welcome back, Nat.
Hey, brother.
Well, I was
good
gone.
to be back.
I was here. I was gone. You were still here.
There'll be times when I'll be gone, so
But
it's all good.
That right there, I needed that. I needed that today. And the funny thing, when Nat and I do not talk about what we're going to talk about.
Right.
Because
we don't know.
We don't know until we sit down.
Y'all always doing stuff.
But that, we tried to shoot that a couple weeks ago, and we had some technical difficulties.
Right. And it wouldn't even like record in high def.
Right.
We did get a bit of it on channel 34, but it was disjointed. And
I needed that today. That was incredible. That was incredible. You shot that right after 9/11.
Yeah, right after 9/11. That was actually, and we're going to talk about Trump. Trump will not allow us not to talk about him.
Sorry,
it's a strange show, but. Giuliani had 9/11 on lockdown.
Right.
And he literally banned all black people.
Seriously.
So even C. Virginia Fields, who was borough president of Manhattan at the time, and probably one of the most non-confrontational of any black politician, of any politician, period. Well, white politicians stay confrontational. That's their thing. Just nobody says anything. But even she was sort of disinvited.
Right.
So Bill Thompson, who was controller at the time, at New York City controller, had an award ceremony, and they had it at BMCC.
Manhattan.
Right. And Bishop Tutu was there. It was in February. It was in Black History Month, February 2nd, right to start
2002. That was
2002. Right after.
He came to New York right after 9/11. Yeah, that's right.
9/11, September 2001.
Right.
And then just a few months later, less than 6 months after that, they did this thing at BMCC, and Tutu was there. Even Bloomberg showed up.
Really?
Well, Bloomberg kills you with kindness. He kisses you first.
Right.
Giuliani
just straight walk in.
Right.
I hate to use that word, but he just straight does you. Right.
He's not just uncultured. He's vulgar and nasty.
But you know what? He's a blatant racist.
He's a blatant
He's a blatant
everything.
racist.
He's just a very nasty individual.
And
I think dude wrote a book, Giuliani, Nasty Man, or something
something like that. Yeah, sure.
To that.
Yeah.
He really is. You
don't hear too much about Giuliani anymore because he just, after he got, Trump didn't put him on.
Giuliani, let me be the first one to tell you this. You should have figured it out by now, but nobody really likes you.
Right.
Even those people you think like you,
they don't.
They don't like you. Nobody really wanted you around. You're like you're sort of Renfield to Trump's Dracula. He really doesn't want you around.
But you know one thing about Giuliani, everybody said he cleaned up the city, but he violated a lot of civil rights when he did that.
Just like Trump is benefiting for the things that Obama did. He's talking about the stock market.
Right.
It was
Obama who started it, right?
But he started it from nothing. You started it.
He's off of Obama's tail.
Correct. Well, not only that, but the plane was in the air and on autopilot, and they just let you sit in the seat. And you say, "Oh,
don't touch anything. Don't touch anything." Right.
And he keeps touching stuff.
And it's screwing up things.
Right.
But when I grew up, this whole Russia thing.
Right.
I grew up.
Russia. Wow.
I grew up that Russia.
I love Trump.
Russia was a bad guy.
Yeah.
And it's still Russia. The Cold War is over, but Russia. Cold War is really not over.
Right.
But Russia. If you dealt with Russia, you were communist.
Well, see, Trump is validation for the theory that you really should not elect the Illuminati.
Right.
Because their business dealings are so global.
Yes.
That it is impossible for them not to have conducted business with someone who you really don't want sharing all sorts of secrets with.
But here's the thing to that, Nat. If you want to do business, because Trump's, whatever his holdings in Russia, all he had to do is be transparent about it.
He's not going to do that because, first of all, Trump is Trump.
Right.
He's not going to not be Trump anymore.
Right. But you have to be, everyone seems to think that you can run America, you can run a country like you run a business, and you can't.
Trump never ran a business.
Right.
Trump is a show. Trump is doing shtick. He's still doing shtick.
That's correct.
He's made a whole lot of money. He inherited a whole lot of money.
Right. He just made and lost a lot of money.
He lost a lot of money, but he had a lot of credentials. And the best thing he ever did was his shtick. Right. Because that is really what caught on.
It's a reality show.
Right. And he used that to put his name on golf courses and hotels and stuff like that.
Right.
But he is not. He's not a businessman in the way
brand.
Mike Bloom. Right,
he's a brand. He's a brand. Right.
But he's not even a brand. Like there's a lot of businessmen who have become brands.
Right.
But he's not. Really
he wasn't a businessman.
He does shtick.
Right.
He does shtick.
And shtick is just sound bites.
It's vaudeville. Well, it really is. He's not Jackie Mason, but without the humor and the charm. The guy who calls you hockey puck all the time.
I can't remember. I know who you're talking about. I can't remember his name. But you know what? People may not believe this. Okay.
Right.
I've watched Trump on several different occasions.
Right.
Trump can't read, or I think he has a problem reading.
Yeah.
I was watching Trump in a business meeting. It was a negotiation. And it was a deposition. And his lawyers and the opposing lawyers was asking Donald Trump to read line such and such to such and such.
Right.
And his lawyer kept objecting. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. So Trump did this. And he goes, I don't even have my glasses.
Right.
Now think about this. Throughout the campaign, have you ever seen Donald Trump in glasses?
No.
So I don't believe he can read, and that's very well possible, because
he's never had to read. He did reality shows.
Right. All you had to do is Mr. Trump sign right here.
Right.
He never read it.
As a matter of fact, even legal dealings. In this setting, he has to be a nightmare for a lawyer because his whole modus operandi has been lie and settle.
Right.
And now
and bully.
Well, yeah. Well, he had all the money. He had all the power. And if things didn't go his way, he could always settle for a fraction.
Right. That's right. He's still ahead.
Right, he's still ahead. And that would make the lie sort of go away. But now the lies won't go away, and the stakes are much higher.
And here's the deal. He may not get impeached. I'm going to predict this. He won't get impeached, because Bill Clinton got impeached. Just because you get impeached doesn't mean you leave the office. Okay, Bill Clinton got impeached in his last term. Under the
They're not going to let Trump get anywhere close to a courtroom where he's under oath. They're not. They're not going to do that. They're not.
I think it's going to happen.
His lawyers have to know who he is now.
Oh yeah. I think his lawyers always knew.
You can't let him testify to anything binding.
Well, first of all, the lies will catch up with you. His lies are caught up with him already.
He can't remember his damn lies from one sentence to the next.
But think about this. Everybody in the White House has a lawyer.
Yeah.
You know, everybody, his sons have a lawyer. But I think what's going to happen, this is what I predict. His health is he's going to say, we're going to watch his health deteriorate, and he's going to resign. What do you think?
Well, he's making my health deteriorate.
But even
Trump is problematic. First of all, he's the most vulgar,
classless,
crude. And he picks people who are equally crude or cruder.
Or morons. Didn't some press secretary got fired?
Scaramucci.
He got fired. Was it 2 days in? He's fired.
He says on the record that Priebus, Reince Priebus is effing paranoid.
Right.
And then he says, Bannon, he says, do you want me to be like Bannon trying to suck my own cockadoodle?
Yeah, right.
He said he didn't put the doodle in.
Right.
On the record. And I want to say this. He never said Steve Bannon sucked his own thing. He said he tried to.
But
this is on the record to the press. So I mean, how do you deal with this?
But see, here's the thing. But my thing is this.
How do you deal with this?
I don't know. Is it the media?
And Trump knew he said that and was mad at Priebus for not engaging him in this sort of.
But what my problem is this: that he should have. Nobody engages Donald Trump. Nobody would sit down and call him out.
Well,
I want him, Donald Trump, come on our show.
Yeah.
You can sit right here. You can sit right here.
I wish he would really be bold and get Dave Chappelle to be his president.
No, I don't want that. I don't want to do that. You don't want to do that.
Somebody who could match him, you know.
But here's the thing.
Word for word.
It's almost, what are we?
Where's
6 months
Richard
in?
Pryor when you
yeah,
really,
right? Richard started on this. Richard
you really need a hero.
Right. Yeah. Richard would have stepped up.
Yeah.
But we're, 6 months into this? He hasn't filled any positions. He hasn't. He
lost positions.
He lost positions. He hasn't. The healthcare.
Yeah.
See, you have.
I really want to talk about that because one of the things he does is he's like a 3-card Monte guy.
Right.
So he's forever like pushing you away from the issue.
Misdirect.
Right. It's misdirection. It's total misdirection. So that you get off of what's happening and you get off of Russia because Russia is very problematic. And now his son is involved in it, and it's just a terrible can of worms.
But he lies about that.
So you go after transgenders and they never know, no one ever knows what he's going to say. So it's always a complete surprise to everyone.
Can you imagine?
Yeah,
can you imagine?
The military didn't know he was going to do this.
Can you imagine
his own daughter didn't know he was going to do this.
But can you imagine a press secretary sitting there with you like, oh my God. What's he going to say? What's he going to say? What's he going to say? Because he doesn't even know what he's going to say.
Well, it's probably more like, oh, what the?
But this has to
He
stop.
got that Huckabee woman now, so
she'll be gone.
Let's see if she can.
No, she can't.
She's a really good enabler of lying. She really does it really well. She can she's just really good at BS. She can look at you with a straight face
and tell you a lie.
Right.
Well, at least we don't have Kellyanne Conway.
Good. Kellyanne Conway is a bit retarded. She really is. She's turning into Lucille Ball.
But something's got to give.
Kellyanne is giving. She would really.
But something's got to give.
She's probably still taking the checks. So
she is.
When they call her up, she's obligated to show up. But she would really rather just go on vacation because this is a nightmare.
But something has to give with this administration? Would you agree? This can't go on like this.
No, he has this army of inbred rednecks who defend everything he does, and you have the whole Republican Party who is terrified of this guy.
But why?
So they allow him to do all sorts of things.
But here's the thing.
Because they have control of the House and they have control of the Senate and they haven't had control of anything, but they don't know what to do with control.
Right. Nothing's getting done.
In the words of Mr. Spock, having is not so great as wanting.
Right, that's correct. That's correct. But Dad, look at this. Look at this. The bill, the sanctions that the House and Senate passed, been sitting on his desk for a week.
Right.
If he doesn't sign it within 10 days, it automatically goes to law.
You gotta. He still has to come to grips with the fact that he has a Senate that's 100 of mostly old, rich white men who are used to ruling the world from their perch as emperor of the universe from the United States of America.
Right.
And they are not about to acquiesce to whatever.
But you see that's happening right now because the House bill is not going to pass.
They're not going to.
They're like, you know what?
Right.
We've had enough.
Right.
Let's go. Let's make this let's spank that butt and make him go away. Right. Because now he doesn't have the votes. He
really does not get it. He does not.
You think he doesn't get it or he doesn't care?
He doesn't get it. He's like white trash with money who doesn't understand money.
Right. Just because you have money, you don't have class.
All white. He understands trash, but he doesn't understand white.
Now you need to explain that to them a little bit more.
I mean that
I know what you mean.
People like Mitch McConnell, people like Senator John McCain, the Senate, older people who
75 and older,
right. The military, those people who are used to being conservative, doling out who gets what, arguing about who doesn't get anything, making sure that the United States military is capable of going toe to toe with the United Federation of Planets. Those people are not about to acquiesce to Cletus.
Billy Joe. But see, here's the thing.
Any of those people, when it comes to preserving the principles that they're not about to share power with. See, Trump did a good thing. They didn't want to share power with this uppity black guy.
Right,
fine.
right.
But the Senate is not about to share power
with
to
this moron.
shoeless rednecks either.
Right.
You know.
So see, here's the thing. See, now they miss Obama.
Right.
Because Obama had class.
Right.
And he wanted to get something done.
Right.
Donald Trump has got nothing done.
Donald Trump just wants something with his name on it. Unfortunately, they don't know what to do with the bill. They keep talking about Obamacare is this failure, let it implode. It will not implode unless you implode it.
Right.
Iowa's problem has nothing to do with Obamacare.
Right, that's exactly right.
It has to do with the fact that Iowa, Republican Iowa, saw fit to stiff the insurance companies out of the money that the government was paying, so that people who made less than 400 times minimum. When they talk about rates going up to an unseen rate, they're talking about the fact that there was nothing in place to protect people who made over 400 times, not 4 times, 400 times over the minimum wage. I mean the poverty rate. So fine, you got a problem with that small percentage of people,
less than 1%,
that are unhappy. Fix that problem, but stop trying to lie to the masses
to say Obamacare is not working,
and Obamacare is responsible, and it's
not.
about to implode.
It's not right.
One of the reasons why you could, and if you talk about getting rid of the individual mandate, you're imploding Obamacare, because you are literally taking all incentive from the insurance companies not to keep raising rates, because you have to have some healthy people participating in this. Also, we're talking the people that they're talking about were people like me who work for themselves and who were on the individual. So you're talking about mandating that employers cover people and that people have adequate health care, and if you can't afford it, if you make less than 400 times the poverty rate, the government would come in and subsidize some of the bill. Obamacare was not imploding. Obamacare was fine. Now, if you wanted to tweak that part of it to make the super rich, they had some guy on talking about, oh, well, I'm going to have to cut back on my charitable donations.
Really? Come on. But see, this is what I don't understand, that people who think Obamacare is bad
are the people who need it most. Really.
Yeah, but think about this. If it implodes, you have nothing.
It's no longer Obamacare.
Obamacare
is now Trump care, whether he signs it or not. He's the president. Whatever happens, what happens to health care is his watch. Yeah.
And then try to blame it on Obama. It's too late.
I mean, you can't get in an airplane, and say, well, we're all going to die. The last guy forgot to put gas in it, fuel in it.
It's too late.
It's your plane now.
But Nat, okay, we know that, see, if you want to replace Obamacare, if you want to repeal it, have something else.
You can't repeal it, and you can't replace it. All you can do is tweak those things that you would like to see work for other people. I'm not even going to say it's like really messed up, because again, the circumstances you are talking about, what you created that stuff. If you talk about healthcare going up, and then he uses words like bailout.
It's a soundbite. It's a true soundbite.
But you're talking about like old people who are in nursing care. You're talking about children born with cancer. You're talking about leukemia
kids.
You're talking about hepatitis. You're talking about all of those things that people really, really need, not just adequate health care, but state-of-the-art health care.
Right. But you know what we should do that? We're going to take our show on the road.
Yeah.
We want to go to these middle states and sit down and talk to these people and try to say, listen, because nobody...
Cletus ain't going to punch me in the nose like he punched that boy at the rally.
But think about this. Sit down and say, listen, this is what it is.
Right.
And talk about how it helps you and how the government doesn't want to help you.
How it helps everyone.
Right.
How it helps the United States of America, the people of the United States of America. I wish, I'm an evil black activist type guy, So if Obama did something for me first, I would not be sad about it.
Right.
The truth is, Obama did something for Cletus first, and I got a little benefit. I got a little benefit out of what he did for white people.
But see, he didn't even black people thought that he was going to be the savior.
Right.
But he wasn't.
Right.
Under the Obama administration, black people got almost nothing.
Well, he bombed Africa. He's the first president to actually bomb Africa.
A black president.
And in point of fact, I never thought he was going to do anything for black
I didn't
people.
think so either.
I figured, hell, somebody got to get the job.
Why not him? Why not him?
Let a black guy get it. Even if I don't like it. I don't like the other guys either.
But now you look back in retrospect, these people look back, look what you have.
But they spit on the guy who
helped
saved
them.
their grandmama.
Yeah. Oh, West Virginia.
And they still spitting on him. Whenever Trump gets in trouble,
he blames it on Obama.
Right.
But see, Obama did a lot for the country.
Yeah.
Or as a whole.
Especially the people of the country.
Exactly.
The economy of the country. He saved the U.S. economy.
Yes, he did.
Saved the U.S. economy.
Yes, he did.
Saved the United States banking system. He saved everybody's savings accounts because everybody was FDIC insured, which means that if the banks went down, it was their money that they were taking with them.
If Obama didn't step in,
correct.
Our banking system, we would have. Our economy would have gone to crap.
Correct.
So
the world economy would have gone to crap.
If our banking system collapsed,
that is correct.
Everybody's banking system.
Everybody. As a matter of fact, we recovered long before anyone else did. Europe caught hell for years with this stuff. Iceland went belly up.
They went bankrupt.
Right.
They went bankrupt.
They went from shooting drugs and spending money to kicking cold turkey.
And look what happened in Greece.
That is correct. Correct.
If you're in Greece, you can only get $60 out of the ATM machine. That's insane. So, if you look back, America, Obama did a lot for this country.
Right.
Donald Trump is going to destroy this country.
He's going to destroy the people of this country. See, Donald Trump is a fool. He's a clown.
Right.
I'm being hard on fools. He's a clown. He's a clown. However, he's a global business clown. So what happens to this country really is not his problem.
Right. He doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
Because he's setting himself up. So when he leaves, he'll have that power.
And it's true. You don't have to build your hotels in Minnesota. You can build them in Qatar.
You
can,
Saudi Arabia.
Right. The whole world is your oyster when you're global.
But something's got to happen. Something's got to happen. They either need to get him out. I mean, Pence knows the program. I don't like him, but he's establishment. You see what I'm saying?
Pence is hoping Trump dies so he can be the president. That sounds horrible, but it's it's kind of true.
But he is mentally insane, I think.
Well, yeah.
So being mentally incompetent, somebody should step up.
But he has his constituency. But
okay, put them aside. Let's talk about Congress, the Senate. They're seeing how much of an idiot he is.
They tried to accommodate him, but he's so schizophrenic that he doesn't know what he wants from one moment to the next.
What are you going to do? We need to do something.
Right.
Something's got to happen. And what's going to happen, I'm telling you, our economy, we're going to play with North Korea, and that's where war's going to start.
Right.
That's not a good thing.
Well,
because you got two crazies.
You want to get rid of the individual mandate. Now, let me figure out who the hell this really helps. At the same time, you want to get rid of the individual mandate that requires people to at least get an adequate amount of health insurance.
Right.
Health insurance. Adequate. Not just that catastrophic stuff like because I was young too. That's why I was this close to croaking. Because I know what it is to be young and cute and the world is full of drugs and naked women. I understand. You don't want to spend your hard fought for money on health care. I'm not gonna live till next year anyway.
Because you're actually betting against your life.
That's right. There's so much weed. There's so much coke. There's so many girls with Johnny Walker.
Oh my God!
That is waiting for me to hit the party. I can dance. I don't want health care. I understand. But who is this really going to help? How do you get rid of the individual mandate? And say, but you want to make sure that 26-year-olds, 20 freaking 6,
but 26-year-olds, they don't care about health care.
But what I'm saying is, you want to make sure that 26-year-olds
stay on their mom and dad.
Can stay on their mommy and daddy's health care.
But that's insane.
Who the hell is 26 years old living with their mommy and daddy?
And on their health care.
And on their health care plan, but it sure ain't me.
It ain't me either.
When I got 17 years old, my mama said,
get out. You got to get out.
You're
going to go to...
You think you're a man?
Yeah. That's it. See, that's the...
26 and on their health care?
Look, look, when I got 17... Get a job, go to college.
If you're black and you're 26 years old, your daddy sure don't want to see your ass sticking out of his refrigerator when you get home, much less on his health care. Yeah.
He's trying to get you out.
That's right. He's like, what are you doing here? Don't you have a life?
Right.
But
they say to millennials now.
Your girlfriend got a job. Go get her pregnant or something.
But the millennials now are coming back home.
Right.
But I don't understand that. Because when it's a different era.
It is a different era.
But the millennials don't inspire to and I'm going to go out on a limb and say this. Millennials really don't have the aspiration we had.
They're trifling.
They're very trifling.
Yeah.
Entitled.
Yeah. Entitled.
And that blows my mind because they feel they don't have to work for anything.
That's the best way
Now,
to put it.
I mostly blame the parents.
The whole society has they give everybody a trophy. What good is a trophy if everybody gets one?
Oh man, I'm not sorry, this is killing me. But listen, think about this. Think about this now.
That's responsible for a lot of it. Everybody does not deserve a trophy.
But not only that. We're playing against each other.
Right.
Whoever wins gets the trophy.
Right.
What happened to good? Being a competitor.
But I've been practicing and running and jumping and I'm bleeding and I'm huffing and I'm puffing, building up my status. And
you just sitting around.
And you get porky.
Eat the bologna sandwich.
Eat the bologna sandwich. I'm like, what the hell?
What does that say? What does that say to your kid? What does that say to a kid?
And everybody is special. Everybody is a winner.
No, everybody's not a winner.
No.
How do you teach a kid about competition and striving to be the best?
Not only that, but this world has fewer and fewer jobs. It's not like the old days.
Right.
That's one of the problems with Cletus.
Cletus ain't gonna get a job. Cletus is not gonna get a job.
His white skin and the history of America has allowed him to believe that somehow he is entitled to first crack at whatever job comes in.
That's right.
And he is not prepared for this brave new world that we are venturing in on. He is simply not prepared. And he is not inclined to get prepared.
He's walking around with blinders on.
Right.
Because now he's like, what am I going to do?
Right.
See, black and brown people, it didn't matter what president it was, we were still going to survive.
Right.
You know, we've always lived in a gig economy.
Correct.
Now that Cletus...
But now it's just come... Trump is going to bring back manufacturing.
No, where? It doesn't even make sense.
First of all,
we're not manufacturing anything here.
First of all, we have prisons and totalitarian countries up the wazoo to make our little knickknacks.
And not only that, do it at a fraction of the cost.
At a fraction of the cost. Now, a fraction of the cost.
Now, think about this, Nat. People like, when we had GM.
Right.
GM, the average line worker was making $30 an hour.
Right.
Now, why would I give you, as a businessman, if I'm going to pay you 30 and I take it overseas and do a...
That's one of the biggest problems. A lot of these people have never advanced from the concept. They don't understand that this is a different world. It's a whole new world. And they still see the world when white supremacy ruled the world.
And the white man got it first.
And the greatest corporate entity on the face of the earth was U.S. Steel.
That's it,
and it ain't. That's not the world it is anymore.
And they, you know what? The world that they should, that Cletus and Billy Bob should get used to. Right. Amazon.
Correct, but we don't need them for Amazon
because they got the drones.
Because Amazon is getting stuff from everywhere.
Right.
So I mean, all you need to pack is wherever you are locally.
Right.
And the only jobs that are available to people who are ill-equipped to deal with this this new economy, this new global economy, this new world, are people who are voting against their own interests in terms of a minimum wage, voting against their own interests in terms of employer health care. So what do you want, man? What do you want?
Now, what would you say to those people? What could you say to those people, really? Look into the camera. I want you to tell me.
Well, it starts with an F. No. And it ends with a U.
No, but for real, seriously, what would you tell those people that this is a brave new world?
Right.
Now what?
Right.
What would you tell them? Seriously.
You've got to change your ways. You have got to become, you've got to abandon white supremacy.
Altogether.
And first understand that you are part of the proletariat.
Right. That's right.
And that you are going to have to band together. You're going to have to stop, I reiterate, stop voting for the damn Illuminati.
Right.
Stop voting against your own interests. Band with those people who are similarly affected as you are, and you are going to have to continue to learn and grow. You just can't sit in a state of suspended animation
and think
intellectually and think there's a chance for you.
But you know what?
Not.
Because here's what's going to happen. They're all going to die off.
Correct. But the problem with ignorance is that ignorance is intractable. And it tends to become a curse.
It really does.
Because they will the same ignorance on their children and grandchildren.
Right. They don't break that cycle.
So it becomes a curse. It's not just something that is problematic right now. It becomes problematic for generation after generation after generation. So you have
the best
Cletus
advice.
arguing about a coal mining job for his grandchildren. Really, Cletus?
But think about that, though. Let's just talk about that. Let's just talk about that. Think about that.
Really.
Think about that now. Cletus, now think about Cletus wants the job that he wants his son to have the job.
Black
he
man
has.
was good enough for me.
Yeah.
Good enough.
What are you thinking about? When you want something better?
Yeah.
And the fact that you're going to stand there and go, believe if you just think for 1 second.
Right.
Nobody in America uses coal.
Right.
So when somebody says, I'm going to bring back coal.
Right. And nobody wants it. Nobody wants to burn coal.
No, it's unhealthy.
Right.
But my thing is,
that has nothing to do with you. They keep telling you about this clean coal thing. There's no such thing as clean coal.
It's an oxymoron.
And it has nothing to do with your dumb ass in the coal mine.
Right.
They use some sort of machinery that's supposed to filter out some stuff when they burn it. Okay, fine. I'm still not sure where this evil stuff, where the evil carcinogens go when they're burning it.
Right.
But it has nothing to do with your coal digging ass.
But why do
nobody wants that in their house?
Right.
Ask them, Cletus, go to Trump Tower.
And see if he's using
burning
coal.
Right. See it.
But
see if Mitt Romney is burning coal. Scaramucci. Ask him, say, your woman was pregnant. Were you burning coal in your house?
But listen.
Come on, man.
What is America's, see, Cletus is that dumb. Cletus is that dumb.
Cletus is entrenched. We talked about this before. There is this thing that's called a confirmation bias or confirmatory bias, where you just listen to enough source material to validate the misconception that you already have. Cletus needs to believe because the moment Cletus starts looking at reality, he is required to change. You ever tried to change somebody that does not want to change?
It won't work. It won't work.
Nat,
you hit it on the head today. Bro, because you just said it. If they had to change their ways and their ways of thinking, it would take him off kilter.
Right.
And they wouldn't know how to deal with that because their entitled poor asses thought they could get it first.
Forever. Hey, listen. When they invented the little audio cassette, I was like, wow. And then they came up with CDs, and they said, oh, this will last forever. It's not like records. It's just marvelous. And I'm like, wow. I couldn't believe it.
Look what happened.
The world keeps. I came to this place and I had my little camera and put the tape in.
Yep.
And I would edit and it was tape to air.
Right. We were done.
And now they on some foul stuff and you gotta know codecs.
But wait.
I mean,
when we came to this, if you didn't change with it, you were obsolete.
That's right.
Because now remember we used to have to drop off tapes.
Right.
Now what we have to do is upload tapes.
Right. And what I have learned is that the technology is happening, especially doing this crap.
Right.
The technology changes so quickly that there's no time at all that you can stop learning. What we were doing 2 or 3 years ago is completely different from what we're doing now. We have to learn infinitely more.
And remember, we thought 24 frames a second was everything.
No.
Now we're on 4K.
Right.
See, and to sum this up is that if you don't change, you will become obsolete.
Samsung and LG is coming out with camera phones that are superior to the professional cameras in many ways that you pay for, which means that their technology is going to have to change along with them. Netflix and Amazon are creating programming. Aspect ratio is like the size of the picture.
Right.
We used to look at TV on a square frame. That was a 4:3 aspect ratio. Almost 4:4, which is a perfect square, but it's 4:3. Okay, which means that it's a tiny bit wider on this side. The top number is the width. Okay. Then they started using widescreen, which was a 16:9 ratio, which means that it was wide this way and a little. But now the telephones and the telephones are coming out with an aspect ratio of 18:9, which is closer to film. And so you can shoot a whole movie on your telephone. They do that. You can do that. Your telephone is shooting 4K with a wider aspect ratio, which means it's closer to film than the cameras that you go to professional stores and pay $20,000 for. Which means they have to accommodate that, because not only is it on your phone, but they're using it on streaming services, which means that it's the next big thing. Which means that the cameras, if they want to continue to get $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 for a camera, they have to go the telephones one better. Which means that you're going to have to learn all new things, because everything around that changes. That's right. Your compressors change. Your files, the files that you keep change. The number of gigabytes in your files grows exponentially.
So you have to save it. We have to have a terabyte to save it.
It means that you can never ever stop learning.
And that's This is what. And not to cut you off.
You don't fly a World War II airplane.
No, I know. I'm flying. Right. I have to change.
You have to change. And you have to learn.
Not only do I have to change, I got to stay out in front.
You have to stay out in front.
And the moral of this is, Cletus, if you, first of all, you have to change your thoughts. Change your mind, change your ways, change the world. Now, that means in order to do that, you got to fit in with other people that are not like you.
It means that you have been in the United States, some of you, for hundreds of years, have had every rule and regulation geared specifically toward you. And now, in the year 2017, almost 2018, you're sitting there in your sodbuster shoes with your sister, who is also your cousin, who is also your wife, talking about bring back the damn coal mines. There is no excuse for you to be in that condition. I understand my struggle. I don't understand your struggle. You, in the words of Paul Mooney, you just sitting there wasting white privilege. I can't believe you had all that great white privilege and you just sit on your big ass and waste it.
I'm going to say what when I'm going to say this, and some of you guys, I know I'm going to get called out on this. My dad said this to me. He goes, son, a poor white man in America is a dumb white man.
It's an underachiever.
And this is, let me understand. I'm not a racist. God knows you know I'm not a racist. But let's just talk about the white privilege.
Yes.
You know, it's not. You're not privileged anymore.
Yes. You have the privilege. You are still privileged, but your privilege does not extend to your ignorance. You still have to be prepared. You still have to compete. And not only do you have to compete, your privilege does allow you access to certain things quicker
than anybody else.
But if you don't take advantage of that access and learn and grow and achieve, you will lose. Because even though you have more access to being able to become a pilot, than a black person.
Right.
Once everybody's become pilots, I don't care if it's the Chinese, the Mexicans, the white people, whoever, the people who paid their money to sit their butt on that plane wants the best pilot.
Right.
They don't care about anything else after it's over. After it's over. That's fine. Your privilege is fine when you learn it.
Right. That's
but when you leave school and come out into the real world, you have to be prepared.
You got to, and you got to compete.
You got to compete. You have to excel. And remember, white man, all you have to do is compete. Everybody else who is not white,
non-white,
who is not white male,
that's correct.
has to beat you, and all the rules are geared toward you. That means that even your own white woman is coming to get you.
Right, that's right.
Coming to get you.
If you don't be in the game,
that's right.
You're going to become obsolete. Okay, so we got about a minute. Man. Hey guys, I don't know if you guys remember, last week was Mr. Wood's birthday. I'm not going to tell you how old he is. He's older than me.
Old as
But happy birthday to Nat. You know, my birthday is on the 21st. I celebrate all month. So, it's a great show. Thank you.
And before we go, we opened up with
Sheila's.
Pastor
Harrison.
Harrison. God, I'm old. See how old I am? You know, because I know that man.
Henry Vincent Harrison.
I know that man, and I love that man. That was one of the greatest people I've ever known in my life. Celebration and commemorance of his life just proved that he was an extraordinary person. We are all lesser for his not being here anymore, but we are all greater because he was here.
Right.
And
left a legacy.
I miss you, brother. You were an incredible person. We'll see you next week. We out of here.
Yep. And guys, remember this: shoot for the moon. If you miss, you're still among the stars. Thank you, brother.
My brother.
My brother. Yes, sir.